I think we might be live, Andy.
Hope we're live. Hi guys, good to be back.
Hello everyone. How are we? Are we
Another
thrilled?
day of Premier League over.
Yeah. Did anyone else watch the Arsenal game? Because you can probably tell by my energy and drive that it's all been sapped from me.
Oh mate, Arteta's got to go, isn't he? Like tonight, the board just got to come out and go, right, we got to get Ralph Hasenhüttl in.
Oh, that'll be epic.
Or the Dortmund manager as well has gone today, so they could get him in. Who is it? Father, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realise he'd gone. I haven't been keeping up on that. Okay.
And there's some names out there. Get Poch in or something, yeah. Arsenal fans will love that.
Nah, they won't do it though, will they? They're committed to this Arteta project now. It'll be going on for ages.
It's not nice though, is it? Not nice.
No. I mean, when you're watching teams like Fulham today against Liverpool, they're generating attacking attempts and shots and stuff. Even if they're losing, at least it's half entertaining to watch. And I think that's always what people want, isn't it? More than anything, it's just some sort of entertainment. And watching Arsenal at the moment is not entertaining in the slightest.
All people want is a bit of passion and desire, and Fulham showed that today.
That's it.
I don't know. I wasn't watching the Arsenal game. I was watching the Leicester game, but like with the Arsenal fans getting behind them, I probably not. Like it's the Emirates, you probably just sat on their hands again.
Couldn't really hear. I watched it. I had the kids in the background. I couldn't really hear them too much in the beginning, but it's a massive ground, isn't it? So I don't think they made too much of a headway. But then I didn't really watch the second half, so maybe they perked up. But I imagine it would just be booze more than anything else. Hello Irons, hello English, hello Strom, or a recluse. Arsenal getting relegated in this ChampMan and in real life. Yeah,
brilliant, love it, fantastic.
Not sure where Andy's beard ends and where his hoodie starts.
I can get my chest out if I do that. I can get my chest out a little bit. But you don't want to see that either. So
we're only human in this channel, Andy. That'll do things to us, don't.
Okay, fine. I just waiting because my brother-in-law's a barber, so he's not been able to come. He's not been able to come over though, has he? So just waiting until Christmas, and then I'll get it trimmed a bit. But
can't he come over with like gloves and hat, and you just claim that it's like a business arrangement? What about cleaners can come round? My cleaner comes around with gloves, so why can't they come round?
I don't know. Yeah, he's busy as well. He's really busy. Like he's working 12-hour days up until Christmas. So. And I'll see him Christmas Eve, and then that'll be totally fine.
And that's not a short job he's got, is it? That's half a day off, I think, to do your bit. Sounds like a library. People are saying, in the Arsenal fans. Okay. Finally, some carnage this week, Adam. We'll see.
Oh, there is carnage, Luke. There is carnage.
We've seen
it. I've seen it.
Yeah. Carnage everywhere.
You got to stay for the Watford carnage at the end. Oh.
We had enough carnage this week anyway.
Petkoff and Cruciate or something I saw earlier, but I could be wrong. But I have to tune in later.
Colm saying Luca's a cleaner, fancy. Doesn't everyone these days? I'm just a lazy bastard. It's either that or I have to do it, so I prefer to pay for it. ChampMan earns FPL, Ben Baker. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I was doing okay this week until Vardy turned up, so enough about that. Right, let's jump into the review. We'll be here all night and we'll try and smash through it. Arsenal 2-0. Everyone expected Arsenal to finally get some points on the board here, and so it proved. Wayward shooting, but probably should have won by more, right? I mean, 6 shots off target though. They maybe could have got one.
Thierry Henry came good. It's good to see.
Yeah. Form out the window. Matchup is there, and bam, straight away he appears. 4 shots on target. He could have got even more.
Yeah, I was really close to getting Henry in, but I felt Carney was better for the money rather than it's either Henry and a 4-point hit or Carney for free. So I just thought Carney and for free, that'd be fine. So yeah,
fair enough.
But got it with the outcome.
Van Bronckhorst, we obviously knew, we kind of knew he was going to play because of all the injuries they had, and when you know he's going to play, he's decent. So turned up a 9 and assist. Craig Holloway continues in goal, and I have no idea why. I literally, like, usually most weird things in CM, I've got like a vague understanding of what's going on behind the scenes as to why that might be the case. With Holloway, I literally don't have a clue. I mean, Richard Wright has got higher rep, higher ability. So has Maniga, and here's Holloway.
This is the most strangest thing of the season so far, to have Holloway in goal.
Yeah.
Like I thought last season was strange enough that Seaman kept his shirt the whole season.
Yeah.
I thought that was like, wow, okay, Richard Wright this season, number 1 all year.
I mean, if we put it down to the game, for whatever reason, doesn't like Richard Wright, it's decided it doesn't like him. And to be fair, they played him twice and he played a 5 in both games, conceded 5. So they might have a point. He might just be shit for whatever reason. Fair enough. But then why don't they go to Maniga? Then they go straight to Holloway. It's like, I just don't know. I don't know what to say. But long story short, he seems to be playing. Will it continue? I honestly do not know the answer to that. We thought the same about Seaman last season and he carried on. So maybe he carries on. But if he randomly disappears one week, yeah, I mean, it's to be expected, I guess.
So, seeing this now again, like Holloway starting, would you actually get him in as an Arsenal defender? Like, it's a 4.5 bargain for Arsenal, right?
I mean, that's the Arsenal team was leaked this week, wasn't it? And a lot of free hitters and wildcarders and stuff went for him, as I think it's worth the punt of 4.5 million. At the end of the day, as long as you've got another playing goalkeeper, I don't really think it's an issue, right? Because then you just play that other one for a week and then you sort the issue if it changes. So I'd be tempted. I'd be tempted just to go with it because we saw what Seaman did last season. He ended up being probably the best keeper, I think, at 5 million overall, like value-wise.
Yeah.
So probably worth the punt, but don't blame me if it goes wrong. What was I going to say here? Not too much to notice about Arsenal. Watford didn't really have a chance. Petkoff's not his best game. Yellow card. Go on, Andy, stick it in.
No comment from here. I mean, Arsenal away. He's had his good fixtures. That's the thing. Like, yeah, great. Petkoff's done well, and now that he's done so well, everyone's got on board. But he's only done well previously because of the fixtures. He had like Millwall at home, Man City at home, was it as well?
Yeah.
So now his tough fixtures come in, and he produces what a Watford player should do: 5 and a yellow card. Perfect.
To be fair, most midfielders away from home don't generally do pretty good though as well, so there is that, I suppose. Galley again, he got an 8. Rest of the team were diabolical. Key tackles, 6, 4 million. I mean,
he's in my team on the bench. He's got Liverpool away this week, but for when he has a good home game, I'm pretty sure I'm going to start him. He's one of those nice little old-fashioned centre backs that just heads everything out, doesn't he? So it's all good.
That's it. And this game,
just going back to Arsenal as well. Do you think with the injuries that they've got, like, do you think they'll be pretty similar in the midfield? So can you go for Van Bronckhorst and Perez again as well?
I guess we'll check the update to see what their injuries are like moving forward. But if the same players are out, then I don't see any reason why it wouldn't continue with basically this exact same team. That's what I would have guessed the team would have been. Lundberg's always there and can pop up randomly, but Tikhonov, he seems to be favoured on the left and Pires favoured on the right. So it's whether Van Bronckhorst comes in at the centre, because they've got Basidas as well, haven't they? So yeah, I think that team will pretty much continue. The Kanu thing, you just never know. I think Kanu is ahead. I think he's one of their star players as well, which says he's got their highest reputation or ability. I think it's ability actually does on star players. So yeah, you'd always guess that Kanu will be in the starting lineup, but you'll still miss the odd one.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
This game, although it was 6 goals, I mean, there wasn't too many shots on target, quite a few, but it's more to do with the keepers. Both played a 5. So I think that was the main reason. Possession, Leicester absolutely bossed it, but we know Newcastle play long ball, so to be expected. Jerry Taggart, which I actually noticed when looking through the player stats at the end, which would remind me to do at the end, Andy, actually go through average rating and goals and stuff like that.
Yeah, we need to go through that, yeah. That's cool.
And now we've got enough data, really, I think, to draw some sort of conclusions from it. So it's worth looking at. But anyway, Taggart, spoiler alert, leads the way for tackles in the division. And tackles per game, this is. So he's 7.62 here. So the Jerry Ferry's not dead, 6.6 on average per game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked by that. He's a monster, isn't he? So.
He is. And tackles lead to bonus usually, or high average rating. So good thing to note.
Unfortunately, it's just the clean sheets, though, isn't it? Unfortunately.
Yeah, not really happening at the moment. Last season, they sort of managed to pluck them out. But to be honest, apart from Man United, has there been that many clean sheets from it, like consistently for teams? I don't think there has there? Man
Bolton
have 5 out of 6 or something.
Bolton have done well with their home fixtures. They've kept 3 clean sheets out of 3.
Nice.
For the home fixtures, so they did well. Yeah.
And Leeds have done pretty well, I think, as well. That's probably about it. Stephen Hughes, he didn't do too much, but he had 2 key passes. He obviously got an assist, which helps. And he's been one of the stars of the season. Doesn't look like it's slowing up anytime soon.
he's just a star of the sim in general, just picking up from last season's form. I know form's not a thing. Yeah, fair enough. But on this sim, he just seems to be brilliant.
A madman. And Carl Court, still decent value, I think. I mean, yeah, he's not Shearer, but it's not bad. 3 goals and 5 assists.
And talk about Carl Court. That's the thing I looked at pre-season. I mentioned it to yourself, like going the other striker to try and save on money, so you could fit like Veron in and other people. Like that's why I started with Sabon. I know it's about in the end, but thinking like, okay, so Sunderland are quite good attacking, Newcastle are quite good attacking. Can you go Court? Can you go Sabon rather than Phillips and Shearer to try and
there'll always be one
funds
that will
elsewhere.
do well. It's just predicting who it will be, innit? Like York can sometimes hit 20 goals in a season, for example. Maddison played right wing here because Dyer was out. He can play on the right, as you see. So again, that might be a thing next week, which aids his output, I would suggest. I think he's been quite unlucky. People are saying in white bid stats he's got a lot of key passes, and he's not actually got any assists yet. So on the right wing versus Derby, assuming they don't rep, will be a pretty good game for him, I think. So if you've got him, you probably want to start him in that one.
Yeah, definitely.
PLO's Beard saying, is Shearer less injury prone this season? His injury proneness stays the same. It's 12. Last season he just got injured, and if you remember, they kept playing him when he was orange flagged or not fully fit, so you can always have that reoccurrence. It just happened so many times over the season. It felt like he was injured the whole season, but really it's just a fault of the game. Like he probably only picked up like 1 or 2 injuries through the season, which is probably might be similar this time. So yeah, the injury proneness level doesn't change. You just got a little bit unlucky.
I wouldn't touch any of that Newcastle defence at all, even to Derby at home. I can't see clean sheets really. The way they play and the way the defenders aren't that great. People mention Marcelino, but I wouldn't trust a Newcastle clean sheet.
There's better options, isn't there, I think?
Yeah.
Man City Bolton, 6 shots each and slightly more possession for Man City, home advantage. Bolton probably a little unlucky not to score, but some wayward shooting. Huckabee on one shot did the business, and all their defenders did well. I noticed on the key stats, obviously McNamara got injured, but even Mackin when he came in, all of them have done well on the key stats here for headers, tackles. They've won nearly all their duels here, so it's a pretty good outing for them.
Good to see Danny Teto back. That makes a difference on the left wing.
It does. Yeah, he's a good player, and he obviously got an assist. Is he? Yeah, so he's 2 for 2 now at 8.5. It's a good start, and he's one of the guys that we could have easily priced a little bit higher in midfield, but as we thought it's a Man City midfielder and no one will know who they are, they probably rage at that. So he might be a little bit undervalued. He's on pens and free kicks and everything, which he can be. He could be basically he could be a better version than Petkov essentially. Bolton, it's an away match. It was obviously a struggle for them. Didn't really do anything of note. The one thing I did notice is Cooper was pretty unlucky not to get an 8 as usual. Key headers and tackles here, he's pretty good there. I think he probably deserved an 8. So when that doesn't happen, it's usually because they made some sort of error in the game. So I'd suggest he probably was at fault for one of the goals or something. Sunderland Chelsea. Again, Chelsea, Sunderland kept a clean sheet here, but 6 shots on target. Any other game, you'd expect 2 or 3 of those to fly in. Sunderland and Chelsea 50-50 on possession, but the wall of Tome just turned up. Look at that.
It's so good. I haven't owned him all season. I don't know why I haven't really. He's so good.
It's literally tackling and heading everything. 8 key headers.
Yeah, he should be 5 million. 4.5 bargain, isn't it? Really, look at it.
Yeah, part of that was to give you guys some. You got to have a few nuggets in there. You can't just have everyone ridiculous. But also Sunderland last season, if you remember, were like every game was like 4-2. They never kept a clean sheet, so you were literally going for bonus. Whereas this time they have kept a couple of clean sheets in home games. I'd have never put them down for a clean sheet in this game. I know they often came out better in the sim data against Chelsea, but I still would have put Chelsea to score. You see, they're normal, but totally ridiculous.
A few people have gone Sullivan on World Cup, haven't they? He's quite good.
Yeah, here 6 shots on target, so 2 save points as well on a clean sheet. I did talk about in pre-season actually, saying that a lot of people were going for Poom and Gaskelinen, but on the actual sim data over the 10 sims of the pricing data, Sunderland had less goals conceded than both of them, and he was 4.5. So I was like, well, you could argue to go for Sullivan, but the thing is with them, you've got Arca, you've obviously got Tome, and you've got Phillips, and you might need those slots open at some point. So I can see why people thought, I'll leave a slot open. Tome is this season's Terminator. Yeah, it seems so.
I reckon so. Herman who? I don't remember who it is.
Desai's did decent. He always does though. That's about it from them.
John Terry's still got one game out, so
yeah, annoyingly. Villa and Everton. This is a bit of a spanking, really. 7 shots on target for Villa, 57% possession. Villa in home games, they can be very decent against weaker opposition, especially. And I think a few people went Angel on wildcard. I think it's a good shout. He's done pretty well. He's 3 goals in 5, relatively high average rating, but now they're good fixtures start. So I would imagine most of his points are going to come in the next few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go for any Villa midfielders. I think Angel, Balaban, good picks. Yeah. And the defence is good. Melbo's a good pick. He's solid at the back.
Yeah, definitely. Love Melbo.
I mean, it should be Melbourne and Alpi near enough all season, right? They don't really rotate there.
No, I mean, they have got... Because Barry missed out here and then he came on, but it's usually Alan Wright that causes that. And they signed the other... was it Stephen Carr, who they'll give a token 3 or 4 games a season, but apart from that, Melbourne 32 games or more probably. Connex saying what would change between season 1 and season 2? No manager change. Still Sunderland are better defensively. Well, I don't know about that because there's only been 6 games for a start, and they did change the manager at one point. Shreves came in, so I suppose if you mean since Shreves, it's just been 6 games and they've had some good games. And also you just saw there, I mean, Chelsea should have scored, right? Tome was just ridiculous. It just happens sometimes.
Who was Tome up against that game? Just going back to that.
That's a good question. I've gone blind. It's on the next one.
Yeah.
So Tome was on the left, so he was up against the right. So that'll be Good Johnson that he was up against. He won lots of tackles.
That's interesting. Oh, yeah, I was thinking he might be up against Zola, but okay.
Yeah, Zola went off pretty... Oh, he went 50th, yeah. Bullied him.
First time Man U have dropped points, eh?
Yeah. And fairly even. I think that came out on Sim Data as well, that Man United were maybe slightly better just because they're Man United, but it was a pretty even game. Probably could have had a lot more goals than what it did, surprisingly. Blackburn played there 4-2, 2-2.
Yeah, I don't think Craig Kemp wants to see this, does he? Because Wes Brown man of the match.
Yeah.
Just after he sold him.
Yeah, annoying. But this is the reason, actually. I looked at this. So 19 jumping for Wes Brown. He's playing on the left. Who's he up against? The guy on the right, Marcus Bent. What's he got for jumping? 9. So he just won every header. You can see here, 10 headers, 10-1, 5 key. Those matchups, so good.
Yeah, Wes Brown's so good, though. I mean, Wes Brown becomes a star player, and I'm surprised he hasn't come in already, but now he's in. Do you think he'll stick with that?
Again, because
is it too early to say that?
Yeah, I think it's still too early. I'd love to say yes, but I still think Johnson's lurking, and Sim Data suggested that Johnson ended up playing more games than Wes Brown, so we'll just have to wait and see. You know, Sim Data didn't predict the Holloway thing, did it? So it can't predict anything at the end of the day, like for 100% certainty. But as the season goes on, you'd expect towards the end Brown will start coming in for Johnson a lot more, just when it starts. It seems to already have started a little bit.
I love that comment. Damien Duff is a slow burner. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not doing too much, is he? I bigged him up as well. He's been letting me down, to be honest. But tough game.
Good to get a point against Man U.
Yeah, there's not many teams who will manage that. Right. Derby Charlton.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's got 3, but it could have been a lot more, couldn't it? A lot more.
Yeah. You wonder against that keeper. You think Ravanelli would get more, wouldn't you?
Yeah. You would. Madness, really. This game, could have been anything, as you saw. I mean, He still played a 6, the keeper, so I don't know how many of these shots he actually saved, because at least this time he had 4 tackles here, which I guess could go down as saves, but you never really know with the way that it works out, the points in this game for saves. But Christian Ravanelli, both were good picks for this game, as was Burley, Valkyrie, anyone virtually, playing for Burnley at home against Charlton are just really fun team to target. We talked about it already, how they've improved nearly every individual player, but they've reverted to what we thought they were going to be from season 1, which was just shipping goals all over. They usually come like rock bottom with Southampton.
Terrible team.
Yeah.
But they can score.
But they can score, and Jason Ewell hits 15 goals like clockwork, like every season. So you'd expect that'll probably happen again. Poom losing his clean sheet was sickening. 2 shots on target.
And great to see Tonton, a last minute goal there. Brilliant.
Yeah, come on for like 2 minutes left and 1 shot, 1 goal.
That's all he needs. All he needs. He's still 4.5, isn't he, this season?
He's still 4.5, yeah. We've had a lot of injuries. They could have come in, but they're signing midfielders all over the place, Derby. They're going to town, aren't they? So it's looking less likely for him. And
someone else as well, unfortunately.
And someone else, yeah. Leeds and Middlesbrough. I think in sim data this had Leeds winning like 90% of the time. I was shocked that this result happened, to be honest with you, but you can see it's a bit of a robbery. 57%, more shots, yes, and wayward shooting from Leeds, but 2 shots, 2 on target, 40%. They've basically been Jose Mourinho'd here. And you know, you can't really predict these things, so sim data would have them losing most of the time. The reason Ian Hart got a 9, people were saying on the stream actually, why has he got a 9? I mean, he's very good, but the reason here is when you look at the runs, he actually had 8 runs, which is Gardner levels of good. I noticed that Keane and Viduka also had loads of runs, so that's why they got 8s and 9s here as well.
So why would Keane and Viduka have loads of runs? Because I know Hart's up that left wing. He would definitely be dribbling all the time, but...
Yeah, I'm not sure about... I mean, Rob Keane is often... We'll look at the stats again at the end. For forwards, he's nearly always right up there, and it's usually this stat here, the agility, that makes a massive difference.
So he's kind of like box to box, kind of just moving all the time kind of thing.
Yeah, he's just very hard to get off the ball because they're so agile. And it's been proven that agility really helps with dribbling in this game, and therefore assists, because then they can get into a position to just get past people and put assists in. And Robbie Keane's got a really high level of it, so it's helped him. And Mark Viduka's got a high level in everything, so obviously he just decided to do that today.
But it replicates real life, because I mean Keane and Viduka were like that anyway. So
Keane definitely wasn't he? He was a wriggly bastard. Viduka had really good dribbling. He had really good feet for a big man, didn't he? He didn't like run.
Great feet for a big man. Yeah.
Yeah, but he would turn people all the time and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Gareth did his thing, but most of the defenders did good. Atherton, they're all just really solid defenders here for Middlesbrough at the back. Zapata with an assist. I think that was good because last week he was a bit unlucky, so still doing well despite his poor returns.
I kept the faith with him this week. I know his Leeds away, I was thinking it's not a great fixture, but he's a good player, so I kept him in, and happy with the 7 points. Really helped me this week.
Just desserts.
Yeah.
And here's Boxic, 4 goals in 5, 8.40, man of the match. Love this guy.
Yeah, great guy. And Rickard. Did they play him? Was he fit? Or did he just come off early?
I think he's still lucky. I think they're just burning him in or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. He started and obviously came off.
Yeah, that's fine.
And usually it's Boxic who comes off, so I think it will switch around once he's back up and running.
I mean, Boxic just lose fitness, so that's the problem with Boxic for me, is just the early subs, because he can easily get a 1 point quite often. Yeah,
he can. Yeah, and it's just that he's one of the few players that can match the explosive returns of the premiums for a cheap price in the good games. So I think for target runs, he's really good. Liverpool were also robbed here. I think 9 shots on target, 55% possession. It's an unfortunate result. Again, this is another one in sim data where Spurs were averaging something like 0.5 goals a game, and Liverpool were more like sort of 2 to 3.
Yeah.
So you can sim as much as you want, but when it comes down to that individual out of the 20, you'll have one of them that's like this, and we get that one. So that's just what's happened.
I mean, as a Hippier captain, I was hoping that one of the double game week fixtures would be a clean sheet, and I thought this one is probably the best chance for it.
Yeah, if I could move my team about, Hippier would have 100% been my captain. And in the end, I don't think it worked out too bad. Was he get 9 points or something? 9 points in the end, did he?
Yeah, it was no less than that. I think it was 7 in the end. Was 7 or 8? Yeah, I can't remember. 7 or 8.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Got an assist and a couple of appearances.
No, he got a goal, didn't he? He got a penalty.
Oh, penalty. Sorry, yeah, penalty. Yeah.
Bishkan, again, we know about this guy with the 20 for jumping, just means his average rating 12 headers, 1 out of 16, playing in the centre midfield. Absolute tank. Loves it. Spurs, again, the defenders were pretty good in terms of the key stats. Can't really defend, but when we look at the average rating, there's a player that's highlighted from defence anyway at the end, and I'll show you. He's doing in the top 5 you wouldn't expect to come from Spurs. Millwall.
Pillows Beard, just saying Pillows Beard in the comments saying, was watching Leeds v West Ham on Friday, wishing we could bring on Mark Viduka. Every single game, yeah.
Oh God, imagine Viduka in that team. Actually.
Oh man, so good.
Yeah.
Perfect for him.
Although, do they work? Do even the forwards? It's hard to imagine the forwards of like yesteryear that, like, do they work as hard as you need to work as a forward these days? You know, like forwards are just doing everything, running around doing everything, and you think, I can't remember Viduka ever doing that, but would it matter? Would he just stand there like Steve Chettle and people wouldn't care because he banged in 2 or 3 goals?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, just like Bielsa would just say to Viduka, like, just stand in the 6-yard box, the ball will come to you, and just finish it off.
Yeah.
I mean, effectively, that's what Bamford is, but he just can't finish.
Yeah.
Or move properly, or have any strength, and be clumsy.
He's basically
anyway.
a dishcloth who can manage to score points. Yeah. He's
a championship striker, and we play so good football. Bamford stresses me out. I just can't own him FPL at all.
To be honest, I was incredibly surprised how well he's done, because whenever I'd seen him, I didn't watch any of the Championship, so I didn't know about that season. But whenever I'd seen him in the Premier League for like Palace or whoever, I just thought this guy's shit. Like every time, that's what I thought.
Dog shit, absolute dog shit.
But
it winds me up. When people go like, "Oh, how can you criticise him? He's so good. Look at him. Like, he scored 8 goals this season. Like, yes, from about 35 chances again, because we're so good. Like,
but you got to admit he's had some worldy finishes so far in the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, his finishing has got better than last season. Last season, I just couldn't stand him. Like, we had Eddie Nketiah on the bench, and to not use him and have Bamford just missing chance after chance. I was punching walls the games we weren't winning, like. And that's why I can't own him. If I own him in FPL and have to watch him, I'd be so frustrated, honestly. But anyway, that's my Bamford thoughts, and people know about that. So.
Well, thank you for them. Same time next week.
And he'll score against Newcastle, and everyone will be like, and that's what Bamford does. He's so good. Yeah,
I hope he does, because he's in my FPL team. You'll be pleased to know.
Yeah.
Millwall battered Ipswich here, but they had the early red card, didn't they? 62% possession, 9 shots on target, but Clapham was off in the 17th minute, so it's hard to read too much into it. And what I did notice, which my 4.5 million midfielder, Mr. Paul Evans.
Yeah, Paul Evans, great to see that.
Who got his penalty, but look at this. He had 4 shots on target. Could have got me 2 or 3 goals here.
Oh, Paul.
Yeah. So
it's who's on pens if he's not on the pitch? Is it one of the strikers? Harris.
Well, Samba's ahead of all of them if he ever plays, but he doesn't. So then it's Evans, and then after that, I think it's Savarese, but I don't know for sure. I can't remember who's in my chart. Actually, I'll have to look, but I think it might be Savarese, who's been very good, by the way. We were just noticing before, 5 games, 3 goals, 2 assists, 3 man of the matches, 8.20. That's Van Nistelrooy levels of consistency and bonus points and everything, and he's just going under the radar. I don't think many people have got him.
No, not at all. I'd like to see the ownership for him, actually, because he's a good striker and doing well. Yeah, I think a lot more people went for One Shot, who's similar.
Yeah, I mean, generally One Shot will outscore Savarese, so you can understand why, but it just hasn't worked out that way so far.
Billy Hadaway saying, will Evans keep his place? Will that just be until McKinley's?
I wouldn't have thought so. I mean, again, we did pricing sims, and Evans would play something like 18 games, roughly, a season. McKinley was generally ahead, but some sims you'd have it where Evans would just be ahead of McKinley the whole time, and some he'd play 0. So we're talking like an average of about 17, 18 games. So yeah, that doesn't explain the individual sims, does it? So he could do. But everything suggests McKinley's probably ahead. I mean, didn't Evans play game 1 where it was all random rotation, and McKinley's been in ever since until he got injured? So
yeah,
I don't think he'll play. I hope he does because he's on my bench. But
Evans just a go-to. If Cahill and McKinley's out, then just Evans will come in basically.
Yeah. So he's decent if he gets to the pitch. Set pieces 20, pens. You can't ask for more at 4.5. He's basically like the McAllister of Charlton, who had pens and set pieces for them, but probably a little bit more threat from open play.
Are they stuck on 4-4-2 constantly, Millwall?
Yeah, they don't change from that, not unless they change manager.
Right, okay.
No, Kine's Christophe Kine. He's usually on corners and set pieces. He shares them if Evans isn't on the pitch. What was it?
Yeah, I mean, I've still got Kine in my team.
Solid.
But it's good on the bench a lot.
Blackburn Pool, so the final game was a bit dead, really. Liverpool away from home generally try and kill games. Blackburn generally try and kill games. So it was always kind of expected to be pretty drab, but we got a 2-1 in the end. Martin Taylor and Weatherall just winning everything in the air. I mean, they're up against Owen. Was it Littman in this one? Yeah, Littman. So that's to be expected, right? Neither of those guys can jump at all. And Sammy Hippier, I was going to say, I know he got a 7 and a goal, which is good, but look at that. Look at his key stats. How did he not get an 8 or a 9 and get some bonus in this game? Look at that.
I'm gutted by that.
Yeah.
How is that not an 8?
I can only assume that he was at fault for the goals. He made a mistake which drops down his rating. I looked through the match comms and it doesn't make it clear as to whether he did or not, but how can you get that level of key involvements and not get higher than a 7? I don't understand.
That was 2 bonus as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, which would have been obviously 4 for captainers and
really get done with that 4 points.
Yeah. Yeah. But if he was at fault for the goals, he was at fault for the goals.
Fair point. Do you want to look at European and League Cup results?
Yeah, let's just do the teams because it's actually quicker, isn't it? Or do you like seeing the other teams? I think you do actually, don't you?
Yeah, we can have a look through the whole groups and stuff.
Right, so let's go Tuesday.
So quick.
Stefan Fiore.
Just seeing what teams get through and stuff and what teams are on top. I mean, Real Madrid, Arsenal looking like they're going out.
France saying Hippie had a shit clearance for Janssen's goal. I seem to remember Hippie missing the ball at some point. I thought, wasn't it he missed the ball for a header in the final minutes, rather, but maybe he had a shit clearance as well.
I was busy Friday one, didn't really get to look at the tweets.
I've no doubt these guys are right though. Arsenal lost 2-0 at home to Real Madrid. Guess who started in goal?
Superman.
There he is, look.
Craig Holloway.
Yeah. There he is. Kanu started again. Team was exactly the same as last time, except Campbell was injured, so Keown came in for Campbell. Apart from that, identical.
So Arsenal already struggling, so they could finish third in that group, which put them in UEFA.
Does that count as an early sub for Omri?
Yeah, pretty much. always being rested for the next game. Yeah. Never keep him on to try and get the result. Just always take him off.
Yeah. Leeds lost to Olympiacos.
Yeah, gutting after a great performance against Dortmund.
Yeah, that's not good. Peter Offriquet is actually really good. So is Easy Roberts. And Giovanni.
If you want to get through, you've got to be taking points in Greece. Disappointing that.
But Leeds played this team, which, it's pretty much their first team, right? Decor. I mean, if you were playing the game, you'd probably play a DM, but they don't really do that. So he's probably the only one you'd argue maybe isn't in their first 11. But
yeah,
expected in Champions League. Inter beat Barcelona 3-0. Well, Frank de Boer sent off.
I find it really hard to manage Barcelona and Palace because of the commentary. It's like
you've said this before.
horrible on the eyes.
I think you can turn flashing text off. I don't know.
Just the contrast of the kit I don't like, so I won't ever be them.
A man of principle, I love it. Man United beat Deportivo 2-1. Roque Jr. and York the scorers. Tristan, the man who ends up with 420s down here every time. That's what I was expecting to see. He's on 3 at the moment. G Neville with another assist. Another assist? Yeah, 2 assists.
And he can do that though from that position, can't he? I mean, again, they've got the lines going up, so it's good for Gary Neville. I
mean, that's another thing. I think I touched on it last week, where under O'Leary, the fullbacks become more offensive weapons than under Ferguson.
So that's at home tactic, isn't it? Where they do that more at home with lines from defenders. They don't seem to do it away.
And I'm gonna when we go to the player ratings, I'm gonna show you something that backs that up with the dribbles per game. It's interesting, so remind me to show you that. Van Nistelrooy only an 8, but
only would have got 2 owners probably.
Yeah. Is that all the teams in Champions League? It is, isn't it?
There's only 3, yeah. Because Liverpool went out to Minx.
Of course they did. Did the UEFA Cup get played? I think it did. Did it?
Was this week or previous? No, it was this week, wasn't it?
Let's click on the team that's in it. Blackburn. No,
I think it was last week. Last week, yeah.
Gary Neville nailed. Yeah, I think he is, Pillar. I think he is. 32 games and above, probably. He plays centre back as well, so he occasionally comes in, doesn't he? If Phil Neville comes in for the odd time, then Neville's got another chance to make centre back. So, League Cup.
I think Torquay went out. Unfortunately, I was rooting for them.
So, because this League Cup, a lot of these guys will have played their lesser sides, but we'll click on it through anyway. So, Bolton won 3-0 against Halifax. As you can see, it's only a few of the first teamers played here. Nothing really to note. Derby 3-3. Penalties.
Great game. Yeah, great game.
Tudgai.
Yeah, it was first on the highlight show, that one. Really good.
Decent game, isn't it? Morris, Powell, Murray, Moani. So a bit of rotation here. Oakes, Harris, Burton. Who else is in the Prem? We've got Millwall. They lost 2-1 to Carlisle. They rolled out Samba and Reed, and basically they're better players, but still lost.
Ouch. Big result for Carlisle. Maybe it's just the midweek travel that got to him. It's always tough, isn't it?
It is always tough. Bless them.
Yeah.
Charlton lost 2-0 to Division 3 Colchester, and they played close to their first. That is their first team, isn't it, pretty much? Wingers changed. Robinson's played over here.
Robinson, that's Scott Walker.
3 shots.
Who scored for Colchester? Someone got a 10 there for Colchester.
Yeah, 3 shots on target, 2 went in. Cheers, Zackerson.
Of course, Zackerson.
Peter Gain.
Oh, yeah. Legend.
I'm streaming, Poppy. Let's go to bed. Sorry. Quick.
Is he X? I'm trying to think. He must have. I don't think he starts at Colchester.
Yeah, go tell Mummy. Close the door for me. Sorry.
I can't see you, sorry.
Oh, yeah, you can't see me. Everyone else can. Where were we?
Peter Gain, where's he start from? I don't think he starts at Colchester. I'm sure it's like Torquay or something.
Lincoln. Gains, bruv. Gains.
Gains. That's the headline. What's the headline on the Colchester game? Tom's straight at it.
Aston Villa 4-0. They've played a slightly rotated team. Brewers, Carr, Hadji's come in and done well. 2 goals, man of the match. Who started up front? Angel and Dublin. Ipswich won 3-0. Tommy Miller at it again. After his wonder performance. Yeah, he gets a hat-trick now. Brace of wonder goals.
So is he on 6 goals for season? 5 or 6 goals?
He's on 5 goals from 2 games.
Fans are calling to start Tommy Miller. Got to play him.
Yeah, look, they've
Holland's done nothing as well.
And they've stuck an AMC in, which they don't do in the Premier League ever. Maybe a sign of things to come. Justin Miller smashed it as well.
Nice.
Who else is in the Prem? Leicester.
Leicester on Pens.
Yeah, Akinbaye and Trevor Benjamin up top.
Not an easy draw. Birmingham pretty decent on this.
Got AJ as a goal machine. Man City, Shrewsbury, Huckabee, 10 again. That's their first team, isn't it?
Mm.
So no rotation there. Gets it done. Tiato with another assist. Newcastle lost.
Out. Oh.
They did the rest of the big man. Of course they did.
Yeah, I always struggle against the Walsall forwards. They always seem to score against me. Heravito and Leitao. Yeah.
Ava Xavier. So they're out. How is this going to affect fixtures later on? I'm assuming it is going to affect blanks and stuff, right?
Yeah, we'll do later on, yeah.
Watford beat Peterborough 2-1. They rested Helgerson, it looks like. Petkov got a goal.
Yeah, he does good things against lesser opposition. He's all right.
3-1 to Sunderland. They got Danny Dichio out. They got their Danny Dichio out. Issa, Varga. Yeah, there's a lot of rotation there. But Teal put in that performance. I've been saying he threatens all the time, but he does it in the League Cup. Brilliant. Even Sibon got an assist. Fucking hell.
Where's that been? Oh, Tottenham. That's a shame.
2-1 to Torquay. Teddy. Wee. Toto in goal.
Oh, that's why Torquay got the goal then, yeah.
Clement Slakovic played centre midfield. Boo! We don't want to see any of that.
Was it one shot? Was it one shot for Torquay then, and they scored probably?
Probably. Andy Rushbury played at left wing back. You having a laugh?
Forward, left, centre. Why not? He can do, yeah.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, they love midfielders in that spot, don't they? The fact that you can even play as a midfielder, they've just slapped someone in that spot.
It's left wing back, even though he's a forward, left, centre.
Yeah. Fucking hell. No 6 shots on target for Torquay.
Oh, okay. Good game.
Yeah, as usual.
The goal was unlucky.
Anyone else? No, that's it. West Ham are shit. Irons. Right. That's it.
The end of the road for West Ham. Yeah, that's it. That's good.
Total, I bless the rains. Coleman.
We had a look. The draw's not been made yet, so the draw for the third round, where all the European teams come in, is imminent.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that'll be on the next one.
It'll probably be on the next one. Yeah, we don't know why it's not there, but it happens on the 30th. The actual games of October, so in 9 days.
Yeah. So all the European teams and those that qualified will be in the draw, which just makes injuries more of a threat.
Yeah.
If they're playing midweek as well.
Did you?
And then also later, yeah, it makes. Click on rounds, tell us in.
Click on who? Rounds. Where the fuck's round? Oh, here. Jack shit, mate.
Yeah, I mean, normally I would have thought it would be drawn, but
yeah.
I mean, if you click on like Brentford fixtures, it wouldn't have come up with it.
Nope.
No.
Did you know Tota's middle name is Lee and his last name is Shite? Totally shite. Leave those to Cole and Pirlo. They're not quite at his level, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Do you want to do stats, or you want to go through teams?
Yeah, let's go through teams first. That's what people want,
Okay.
isn't it? That's what they want. And then we can save all that other stuff for the addicts. Oh, let's do games every time.
And the big Watford news.
And the big Watford news. All these teams play imminently. Someone shouted me in the comments on the YouTube video saying I clicked too fast. I apologise.
People got a pause button, haven't they? Watch it back.
I suppose they do. Chelsea, Man City, Watford, Liverpool get an extra day, and Charlton and Villa have 2 extra days.
Just click through. Go back to that Wednesday. There's a Wednesday there with less. I thought it was a Wednesday with less teams. Maybe not.
No. So yeah, we've got game week. This is the head of game week 6, isn't it? So game week 6, game week 7, another weekend one, and then game week 8 comes a couple of days later as a midweek fixture, and then there's an international break before game week 9. At the moment, the only scheduled fixture is this Arsenal Bolton one on Wednesday, the 11th of December.
And that was game week 17.
Yeah. Cool. Luke's hands and fingers are far too fast. Blessing and a curse. I think I've said this before, but I don't know if you guys ever played International Track and Field or Mario Party.
Mario Party, yeah.
Okay, on International Track and Field back in the day, I used to be able to get 6 seconds on 100 metres just with my finger, not even using the sock trick, just by doing the vibration thing. And then also on Mario Party, there's a bit where you had to hammer like loads of these womps down and see who could get like the most. And like the animation of your character, he's supposed to like see him going up and down like this. But when I did it, he basically had an epileptic fit on the screen. It was hilarious. Like, everyone else would be cracking up because it was just a vibration. It was like sitting there.
Yeah, I remember Skateboard Scamper on Mario Party. That was one where you had to finger bash, and then but they had a bit of jumps in as well, so you couldn't finger bash the whole time because there was jumps like over fire and stuff. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I don't think it's as fast now. I've lost that technique. Those fast twitch fibres, they're gone.
Oh, is it? No, it's a shame.
Yeah.
I was a big Mario Golf player back in the day on N64.
Oh, yeah, no. Have you seen the Wii Sports Golf? There's world records and stuff for that now. They're actually really interesting to watch, like the speed runs and stuff. Like people have completed the game in like 8 minutes or something, like hitting a hole in one every time. It's mad.
Nice, amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, we got distracted. Albertini's still out for a month. That's a good thing. Campbell's
Who cares?
Yeah. Campbell's out for a few days, but he's 51%, and they play today, so he will not be playing. The other one is Basidas there, sat at 70%. So he is back, and he is on that exact cusp where he could play. So they might wheel him out, but he'll be coming off early, I would have thought.
I wouldn't think so. I hyped up Albertini so much last season before he signed.
Yeah,
it was a big transfer. We had to just hype the biggest transfer, like trying to get a big transfer out of it.
Yeah, I remember saying to you guys, like, you can't price him that. You got to price him less. You got to price him less.
You did.
And, yeah, he proved to be, but he sometimes does get penalties and does all right. He's just been utterly shit this time.
He's no Vieira.
David Strom saying tool assisted Wii Golf is insane. Yeah, I watched the videos of that. So there's this thing where, like, also let's just to go off on the tangent again. When you play that game, like if you hit a really nice shot, it'll give you like a replay of the shot which you can't skip. So the trick is, and that obviously wastes time. So the trick is to hit really good shots that don't trigger the cutscene. So they have to be just not good enough, if that makes sense. And it actually makes the game quicker. So you purposely try to be worse than better to actually make the game faster. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right. So yeah, I think you're good for Arsenal. Aston Villa, there's only Multipass and Scullion that are slow in condition.
I'm guessing that some teams that went to extra time and penalties in the League Cup might be a bit unfit, but a lot of them rotated. But
yeah, that's it. I mean, like you see here, there's a few that will be, but they're often their reserve players, aren't they? So the ball's on 90%. I wouldn't have thought that would affect him though. He seems to be pretty nailed. Tony Adams got injured. He's got the dreaded gash leg, 10 days. So if you're sat with Berg and Curtis, you should.
Were they playing the Monday? Who's playing the Monday?
They're playing today.
Oh, they're playing today.
Yeah. Bolton, Gota, few days, 90%. Rushin. Southall, 1 day, 90% groin strain.
Gardner's not 100.
Where is he?
He's 91, 97, so I thought he was 91. No, 97.
Okay, and they're playing today. Alright, should be fine. Charlton, again, no injuries. 94% is the worst, but they're 2 days, these guys, so they're all going to be 100%. The only thing is, that means they've got 2 days of training before they play their game. So if they get injured, we're just not going to know about it. They just won't play, and we won't know why until after the game week's played.
Yeah. I mean, I've still got Hughes and Jason Ewell because I quite like the Charlton fixtures. I mean, would you still play both for this fixture?
Yeah, I think you will. I think Charlton, especially in home games. I mean, they can score in virtually any game. So I think if you're not going to play Ewell or Hughes at home in this game, then
yeah, I mean, I'm just going to play Ewell, but I mean Hughes or I think Kinnett's away at Spurs, and the other one is Biscan. I can't remember who's got, but they're my choices really.
I'd be tempted, but I think Brian Hughes. I think Charlton at home are fine for goals. They'll probably ship a couple. I mean, they'll probably still lose the game, but I think I'd go with Hughes probably, just about.
Yeah, and the keepers are back as well. Actually, that's a good point.
Oh yes, the keeper's back. Yeah. Because I think we discussed it before. If you could tell me 100% that Biscan's going to play, I'd probably be tempted to go with him over it just because he's so good for bonus. But
so we'll be Schwarzer again in goal, right?
Yeah, I would have thought he was number one beforehand. So yeah, Schwarzer. Chelsea. Zenden's still out 10 days with damaged shoulder, so that probably still be Gronkiart. Terry's still out for 1 game, so Gallas and everything else is
Terry. Yeah, I mean Terry had the 3 league games, but the Charlton keepers had 1 League Cup game, so that's why he's suspended still.
There is one little bit of news which could be the end for Jimmy.
Oh, hello.
He is wanted by Celtic.
Celtic. Piss
who
off.
Do not mess about. So I reckon that's a done deal. Celtic they don't piss about when it comes to Premier League players. They snap them up.
They've got someone else. Who have they got up front? They don't even need Hasselbank. They've still got
loads
Larson.
Of Premier League players. They've got Defoe. Did they? I think it was. Yeah, Defoe.
Just leave off. You've got to win the league anyway. You don't need Hasselbank.
Larson and Defoe. So Hasselbank's going to play on the bench for Celtic probably.
And they got Joe Cole still.
Yeah, Joe Cole. They got
great. Yeah.
When they made this game, they vastly overestimated how good Celtic and Rangers are. I think. I mean, they were decent in this era.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
They were decent, but
get to the Champions League, both of them, didn't
they? Derby, Carbonari 10 days sprained ankle, Struper 2 weeks groin strain. Lots of sort of lowish conditions for a few, but a lot of these guys are not first team.
There is signing, isn't there, for Derby?
Oh yeah. They've signed Lara Sigurdsson. If you've never played the game, you might not know who he is. I don't know how famous he actually is in real life, but he's actually not bad, believe it or not. He's one of these guys who's got decent key stats. He looks terrible because all the rest is trash, but marking, pace, jumping, acceleration, he's not bad. And he can do really well for average rating, but no one's buying a Derby defender. He'll be 4.5 million. I mean, if you're going to do that, you'd probably go for someone like Naylor on the wing, in the wing back role, even though he's rotated, or someone else, wouldn't you? So certainly wouldn't be jumping out and getting him, but he's he could help them. They've just got so many centre backs, they don't really need him. That's the problem.
Because we also missed a signing for Bolton as well, didn't we? Just going back.
Oh yeah, totally forgot. Bolton have signed Ricky. Say it for me, Andy.
Schmicker? No, I think Schmicker. I'll say that. Yeah.
Okay, he's come from Nottingham Forest. He played every game for Nottingham Forest at centre back. I think he'll play as a centre back. He's going to be 4.5 million, so that is maybe a little bit of a teaser because Bolton centre backs are 5, as they're so good for bonus. However, I'm not sure if he's actually going to play because DeVos is a star player and he's also a signing. Cooper's a star player and he's a signing. So if anyone, it will probably be Hendry, but Hendry's got a really high reputation in this game. So it's just a case of whether that signing bump will be enough to displace Hendry. Maybe it's a signing in the future, but that's one to keep an eye on. I honestly don't know whether he'll go straight in or not. It's just a signing they don't need. They've got other centre backs as well. Yeah, game's not very clever in that regard. But if he does get a place, and it's suddenly a 4.5 entry into Bolton's defence that you said are doing well, then he could be an option in the future, right? But I just don't know whether he'll play or not yet.
But even like, I mean, the Bolton and Derby have signed centre backs at 4.5. You've got Jaskalainen and Poom at 4.5. So I don't think many are going to be doubling up. And I think if you're going to go for a defensive asset, then one of those is probably better.
Agreed.
We'll see, though. We'll see.
Any chance he goes CM? Well, you can technically play there, Adam, but like I say, he didn't play there at all for Forest. And he's more a DM than a centre midfielder. You'd have to go into the editor to see if he's got 20 for midfield, which you've not done. But if you do that, then there's obviously always a chance. I'd still fancy Sherwood and Wally to play, though. Do teams ever sign players they actually need? Not very often, Irons. No. There's the biggest flaw, and I know this game's got a lot of flaws, but the biggest flaw is the transfer system. It's well documented. It's absolutely terrible. They sign players with high ability and rep that are just ancient and they don't need. They struggle to sell people. The loan system's terrible. It's very rare that teams sign players they actually need. When it does happen, you notice it because they're like fantastic most of the time, but it's not that often, unfortunately. I think this may have been the last CM or the last Football Manager where the transfer system was like this. They may have done one more, and then afterwards they completely changed the whole system of how it worked. Everton mostly good. He doesn't even play. Nothing to worry about there.
Anthony Gerrard did play in real life, didn't he? He played for Div 1 team for quite a while.
I was thinking of the lad they've got now. What's the lad they've got now? The young kid? Everton in real life? They've got a young kid, haven't they? Who's something similar to that.
John Joe Kenny?
No. It's a midfielder, like a winger. Attacking.
Oh, Anthony Gordon. Gordon.
Yeah.
It's definitely not Anthony Gordon.
No. Not even fucking born yet.
Yeah, it wasn't born.
Ipswich. Pablo is 69%.
Won't make it. Unless, when are they playing?
Today,
yeah, won't make it.
Won't make it. McGreal, 3 weeks with a damaged neck.
I always think John McGreal is older than 30. I don't know why. He sounds like
just
a 38
an old name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stubbs not favoured this season. They've just got a lot of defenders, and they signed what's his name, Cremondi, didn't they? So he's come from Arsenal, so he's got a high rep. So
GX is getting a look in a lot more from Chapman players. I think partly because of gifts and name, isn't it? But it gives hope to owning an Everton asset, doesn't it? When he can play anywhere.
I keep telling people the one to get if you are going to get an Everton asset is Unsworth. And he's got loads of tackles, like 5.3 per game, and he's on penalties. I don't see why you'd pick any other one.
Well, I mean, Craig Kemp mentioned McAteer on his pod.
Yeah, I get it. He got 2 assists and he plays at right wing back, but I just think if you compare the both, one of them's he likes bonus as well. Unsworth is better for bonus, and he's got penalties, so I'd always edge that way. But I mean, McAteer, I have seen Sims where he's got like 10 assists in the season, so it's not like he's terrible either. When's Clapham banned from? Yeah, we can have a look at that now, actually. Thanks for reminding us.
Oh, actually, we need to go back to Sol Campbell as well. So you got a red card, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, because he got injured and banned, didn't he, at the same time? 1 match ban starting on the 28th.
That could be a League Cup then.
It's the 30th.
Oh, no, they're not. Okay, yeah.
So he's going to miss Charlton at home.
Okay.
Clapham. It's been a bit of a tragedy so far. He's been benched, rotated, no pens from an hour red card, no clean sheets. When was he missing? I've already forgotten. It's exited my head. 30th for 3 games. So the 30th will be the League Cup game, assuming they're still in, which they are. There's 1-3-0. So he'll only miss 2, which will be Blackburn away and Liverpool at home. Which not 2 games you particularly want to play him in anyway.
Yeah, but at least you got him for the next 2, which is quite nice. Sunderland at home, and what was the other one? Man City, was it?
Man City away.
Yeah, okay. So you can keep him for a couple of weeks. You've got other issues there. That's fine.
Leeds. Dewberry, 3 months in a reserve game, torn groin.
The Doobs.
She's good for Woodgate and co. Everyone else is fit. Graham said, "I am the other owner of Clapham."
He's a good pick. He's a good pick.
Yeah, another one on penalties. So you could get very lucky any game. Not even the Ipswich fans clap him. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah.
Adam English, no, he misses. Clapham will miss 2 league games because it'll be a League Cup game for the first one.
He's saying 30th of October, not 30th of September. Really? That seems like
is it?
way
Oh, okay,
away.
sorry. Okay, fine. Yeah, it could be that. That could be right, actually. Oh,
Jesus.
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, fine, sorry. Yeah, cool. So it is 3 league games, yeah. Taylor's right. Taylor's always right.
Yeah, Taylor's always right. Ignore us. Yeah, so Blackburn, Liverpool and Chelsea.
You'd want to sell them anyway, wouldn't you? For that?
Who will be the third lead centre-back? It'll be Radaby, Woodgate and Ferdinand. They're generally the 3 preferred anyway. Leeds we did, didn't we? Again, not much injuries at all. Leicester, so here's the reason that Scowcroft didn't play and wasn't on the bench. It was one of these injuries where he got injured in training and he's out for 10 days, so we were never going to know about that, and it happened pre the game, I assume, because he wasn't on the bench. I noticed them in comms surprised at that, but that's why.
Were they playing on the Sunday or something?
No, they were playing on the Saturday, but I suppose it can just happen. I mean, there's a chance it happened afterwards, right? But we're never going to know that. So I would guess as he didn't feature at all, it happened on that day. A few on low condition. McAnuff is a few days with a sprained ankle. All good. Akinbaye essential. Max saying, didn't we know about his injury already? Well, maybe we did, but I can't remember myself. And on the stream, I noticed they were surprised he didn't play. So either they didn't know and I didn't know, or yeah, you get the picture. Did we know about that already?
I think we did.
Did we?
Perhaps we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Throw the kipper.
Oh no. Oh, what a shame. Big shame.
Out for 10 days with a sprained ankle.
Good news for hippie owners.
Mm-hmm. Partridge 90%, few days with a stubbed toe. No. 86% for Barnby, but they play tomorrow. It'll be about 93. It was announced in the tweets. Max said, "Okay, ignore me." So he was already injured then. Irons, you're worse than me. You're on the stream. You should be telling people the correct information. Yeah. So Liverpool are good as well. I wish I could just generate some injuries for you guys, but it's not happening. But Man City seem to have collected quite a few of them.
Yeah, ouch, look at that.
Gashed leg, few days, Colissimo, red, condition, heartbeat monitor. That gashed leg has literally killed him. He's done.
You can see all his bone, all his leg.
Yeah, Scotty Brow as well, mumps, strained ankle ligaments.
Brough.
Dead. Liddell.
Oh. Surprised Gareth Liddell's got the number 4 shirt. That's surprising.
Richie
should have that.
10 days. And McNamara, who a few people do actually have. 2-0, yeah. Sorry, I'll read what I want from Irons. Might tell people random stories injured on the stream. Yeah, that's too late though. It's after the deadline. You need to throw in a cheeky tweet or something, don't you? Try and confuse them. But yeah, you send some heartbeats, some palpitations will be happening if you do that. I think Scala's got McNamara actually. He picked triple like Man City defence to start the season, I think. And I think
Did he?
Yeah, one of them was McNamara, who's been injured and not got clean sheets as a result. And the other one was either Weaver or Nash, whichever one's not played. Weaver, I think. And then Howie.
And Nash And actually got the assist as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's just been shafted, unfortunately.
Man City are interesting. They just score so many because attacking wise, Tiato, One Shot, Huckabee, Svensson, great assets.
Yeah. Manchester United, no injuries, condition all good. Boring, isn't it?
Perfect. Yeah, well, I mean, United, to me, that sounds like a rep game. Have they got Champions League next week or not?
Well, when we get to the fixtures, we'll go through that actually quite a bit, but it's right in the middle of two Champions League games yet.
Good chance, in my opinion. I would not captain Rude.
Deserved them right for owning someone called Jackie. Jackie Chan, man. Oh, Scala, yep, don't remind me. Weaver and McNamara when they finally keep a clean sheet. Yeah, I got it right then, that's good. Middlesbrough have got Nemeth out for 2 weeks. Hudson out for 10 days. And Windass, 10 days, twisted knee. FPL update, lads. Salah BPS out of nowhere. Okay, I'll take that.
Oh, hello. Yeah, another 2 points. I think I'm on 65 points this week.
Show off. Up to the dizzy heights of 3.5 million.
Please. That was last week.
Sorry.
It's 2 points something now.
Yeah. If anyone wants to kill Jamie Vardy, like seriously, then just let me know because I will pay a lot of money. I fucking hate that guy. Because we play Sky, we monitor passes and stuff a lot. And I looked at Jamie Vardy and I think he had 2 passes by like the 70th minute, yet he's got 2 assists and a goal.
Doesn't touch the ball. Yeah.
Fucking winds me up. There we go. So Middlesbrough are all good. Millwall, McKinley is still 90% weak chest injury.
So could play.
Yeah, certainly could. Brian is a 16-year-old. No one cares. Newcastle.
Dyer.
Yeah, 75% weak with a damaged foot. So I suppose he could turn up. O'Brien is 90% with a dead leg. 1 day. Colwell a week. No one popular though. Aaron Hughes is wanted by Wolves.
I think Aaron Hughes is still playing in Ireland somewhere at the age of like 39, I think he is now.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. I always look to see like who's going to be the last person to still be playing on ChampMan 0102. Like we're getting to near the end of it now. Like there's a few players like Ibrahimovic, Hughes.
Yeah, Ibrahimovic.
Phil Jagielka. Only a few left, so.
Be a sad day.
Defoe's still playing.
Was he playing in America again or not?
He's Rangers, isn't he?
Oh,
Was he still at Rangers? Yeah, still at Rangers.
3 weeks for Ardley. Did we know about that one? He came off, did he? Yeah, he came off in the 84th minute, so it's 3 weeks he's out, which, seeing as though he takes quite a few set pieces, is really good for Arca actually, because Arca usually shares them with him, so that increases Arca's appeal, I would say. Swartz is 6 months.
What are their fixtures like, Sunderland? Their fixtures?
Away to Ipswich, home to Spurs, that's a good game. Home to Millwall, Bolton, Newcastle. Not a bad run, is it?
Yeah. Is Phillips 12 million and Shearer's 11.5, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I can go to Shearer, but I can't go to Phillips, I don't think.
Phillips is a guy you always notice that he's scoring, but he's not done like amazingly, if you know what I mean. I think he scored 2 in 1 game, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which he got the man of the match in. So outside of that, 2 goals and not particularly high average rating. He's not been like ridiculous by any means.
He'll get 25 goals and like Henry as well. I think. How did Phillips and Henry get 25 goals this season?
Piss off Pirlo. I got here first. Okay. Interesting. Guy in my work was on 97, 98 cm. Terry Robbins 50 odd now, still top class. And sharp over 5 yards. Carlos Tevez. I can't remember if he's in this version, this database, or he's in the update. I've had these guys look at him before in this.
Yeah, I don't think he is he?
Yeah,
he
is.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Nice. There's a few knocking round that are still playing.
Spurs have got Anderton tired, 44%. So that'll be Quentin Fortune at right wing back, I would have thought. Perry 64%, few days, so he will probably not play, which is again another loss for them because he's actually one of their good defenders. But they're Millwall at home, so how much they'll get tested, I'm not sure. Some low percent for a few of these guys, but Everton 85%, so he might not feature.
It's interesting. Is that because why are they low condition? Play for reserves or something?
It could be reserves, couldn't it? 18th. They played 3 days ago, but they're all very low. It must be reserves.
You can't see reserve games, can you?
No. Nope. It would make sense because they played in the cup and then play a reserve game a couple of days later or something. And here's the Watford team. Do you want to talk us through the massive news, Andy?
Oh, I thought it was this. No, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Neil Cox is out for 2 weeks. Is the news?
There's also transfer listed by request. So if anyone wants Cox, Gifton Noel Williams, unhappy, would like to extend his contract.
I'd say give it to him.
Indeed.
Tell him he's third choice striker.
Andy Senior being 18 is ironic. Like that. So yeah, that's your teams. There isn't. I mean, is there any popular players injured? I mean, Ardley, Scowcroft, which I think we already knew about.
Yeah, I think we did.
Campbell.
Not big news though, again, is it?
No, let me check my phone because I do get a breakdown sent to me, which I'm supposed to look at.
Irons, you caught me out. Yeah, he stayed for the massive Watford news. That was the plan all along. All about the viewers, baby.
There's lots of people on low condition. Yeah, we've already been through them. Basidas was one. De Boer was fairly low. Seth Johnson, yada yada. There's no massive injuries though that I've missed. Not that I can tell anyway. We covered the transfers, didn't we? We've done that.
Yeah, was there any rumours this week?
We had Jimmy Floyd, we've done that one. Colissimo from Man City might be going to Aberdeen. The only one of note, they're all just terrible youngsters. The only other one is Southampton player wanted by Derby, which I think we covered last time, but so Derby might sign another player.
Yeah, can you just look at transfer page for the whole of the world?
Yeah. So Oakley is wanted by Derby, so they want another centre midfielder.
Matthew Oakley. If there's any player that's so average, it's Matthew Oakley.
Yeah. But seeing as though they're playing that formation now with Valakari as a DM, and they're only playing 2 centre midfielders, one of which is Jody Morris, they might have a Morris and Oakley midfield and just bin off Burley, or I don't know. Again, it's a position they don't particularly.
But they just signed someone else, wasn't it? Who else they signed last week?
Yeah, Nicholson, who plays right.
Yeah, Nicholson. Yeah. And you got Seth Johnson to play there.
Oh, and is Di Matteo now clinically dead after playing 2 games in 2 days?
Oh, that's funny. It's really good.
Yeah, he played a 4, bless him, but you can't really blame him, can you? Pretty sure it was absolutely fucked. We'll do transfers quickly and then I'll show you the player stats. So
any big transfers around?
Oliver Neuville's gone to Dortmund. De Vaio to Inter. They don't need him. I don't know why they did that.
Dejan Stankovic is an interesting one. Oh, Stefanic, sorry, no, don't worry.
Hurtado's there. That's about it. Christian Poulsen. Nothing major.
No.
Interestingly, though, in Sim 1, when we clicked it, obviously we looked through some of these in preparation, and Zidane went from Real Madrid to Lazio. And then when we redid it, he didn't. So maybe that'll be something for the future that might happen. Let me go to the stats and I'll look at the teams quickly. So I just want to show you some things on these stats. So this is average rating at the moment, all players. Might be some surprise names there, I guess. So let's break it down because it's just easier to see. So in the forwards, I mean, I don't know if people realise that Boxic and York were in the top 5 for average rating. Calvin Phillips as well, doing pretty well. Forsell's doing well whenever he actually takes to the pitch. So he's one to keep an eye out for because he's young in the game. If we go to midfielders, Atherton's obviously a defender, but he gets picked as a midfielder here. But again, there's probably a few surprise names there. I mean, Quentin Fortune.
Yeah, maybe. But again, on that left side, I mean, that's why I went Ziege, because that left side for Spurs is always quite good for average rating.
Defenders, Chris Perry. 8.20. He's basically getting bonus most games, I would have thought. Wayne Quinn is another which surprised me. Really? Just one game is the minimum criteria. Injector seat, but a lot of them have played more than one. Cooper, DeVos, killing it. Tone. There's my boy, Unsworth. And Galley's in the top 14.
Yeah, Galley, nice. So you mentioned about tackles. If you keep it on defenders, like tackles per game?
Yeah, so tackles per game. Jerry Taggart, 6.6. Frank Sinclair, 6.
2 Leicester guys, right? Okay, that's good.
Cooper, Unsworth, Melba, Campbell, Tone. So all these guys have got potential to get decent average rating.
I mean, it does show that they're being attacked a lot against, though. So
True.
The clean sheets for those guys are probably harder to get because they're constantly under pressure.
Yeah, true.
But the average rating, so you've got to balance it up. Like, are you looking for clean sheets or are you looking for the average rating and bonus? So, yeah.
I think the clean sheets are incredibly hard to get, but this is the actual interesting one. So dribbles per game. So defenders dribbles per game. We've already seen that dribbles or runs, as the game notes them in the stats page, are useful for average rating, can be very good. And then we look at defenders, and Silvestre is nearly 2 clear of everyone else playing at left back. So yes, he can get the tackles, but they're not particularly high. And he's just a good player for average rating. But the reason I wanted to make note of it was under the new manager, they pushed the fullbacks forward, and obviously he's got 4.4 dribbles per game from 5 games, so he is marauding down that left back position, and he's got a few assists already as well, hasn't he? 2. So if he wasn't good enough for the clean sheets, he's already a pretty attacking force, it seems. As for midfielders, there's your boy.
Legend. Really like him.
There's that high agility stat. Gardner. I think he was on an average of 10 after his first game. It's dipped a bit since then, but yeah, these boys are good for dribbling past people. The one I found funny is Roy Keane's on a tear as well, but again,
it's dribbling, yeah, nice.
I mean,
I think
where doesn't he have a high stat, basically?
Yeah. I think Kieran Dyer was really unlucky first couple of games when they had good fixtures. Everything just went to Stephen Hughes, but Kieran Dyer could have hauled in those games.
Tommy Smith is clear of everyone else up front. He's played less games, but again, there it is, agility 20. So he's one of the few forwards who's got a ridiculously high number in that area. Yeah. And it helps him.
Interesting point in the chat about the game weeks coming up. So I think we are going to go normal Thursday night this week, even though it's Premier League on Thursday night. We're still going to do it. But then, rather than doing Christmas Eve, we're going to do 23rd of December. And then again, 30th of December.
So Wednesday.
So we'll change to Wednesday, yeah.
Nice, yeah.
So that'll be Game Week 7 and Game Week 8, and then back to the Thursday in the new year.
Here's the goals for strikers then. So Shearer and Van Nistelrooy on 6 apiece. Phillips on 1 chop and Boxic all on 4. There's York Angel, Christie. Samba's still in the top 13 from his debut performance.
Game Week 1 was special when he was there. That was very nice.
Goals for midfielders: Petkov, Johnston, Hughes, Tommy Miller's there for his brace. Bruff or Brow's there for his 2.
Brow's there.
Yeah, goals aren't particularly forthcoming for midfielders, as we know. And Hart and Hippier have got 2 apiece. I think, are they both from penalties? Can't remember.
I know Hart's definitely got 1. I don't know actually.
2 for Hippier for penalties, 1 from a penalty from Hart.
Yeah. Yellow cards. I know they not many at this stage, but
Let's do assists quickly and then we'll do yellow cards. So assists for goalkeepers, there's Nash.
that would just be the one of the season.
Yeah. Gordon, Sylvester and McAteer. Gordon's often at the top of this chart.
Yeah, Sylvester's just a beast of a pick. I wouldn't go any other United defender.
Adam Sand saying Hart's other goal was a free kick. Yeah, I do remember that actually, you're right. Assists for midfielders. Hughes is out on his own at the moment, but Hendry, Zenden, despite missing a game.
Dennis Wise must be due another one soon. He only got 2.
Yeah, there's a corner around the corner. Samba still scored more than Viduka, right? Yeah. Yes, he has. And Bernhardt is in joint top position with 2 assists off the bench in game week 1 for strikers. So it's only 6 weeks, isn't it? 5 for some teams, so there's not too much you can read into it. But I think the average rating is quite a suggestion. Also the tackles and runs and stuff. You just see how the teams are setting up. I think it's quite useful. Man of the match, Savarese. There he is, even ahead of Van Nistelrooy.
That's cool. Referee stats, just quickly.
Oh, let's do yellow cards as well first. Yellow cards. Let's do all positions. There you go.
Yeah, nothing to worry about yet.
So they're being harsh with these ratings for refs. They're fucking shite, aren't they? 4.5 for Roger. Who's given the most cards out so far? Mark Halsey. He's had the most games though. 24 for Uriah Rennie in 8 games.
Brilliant.
And a red. Roy Pearson's given out 4 red cards. Well, I don't even remember this many red cards happening. Do you?
He must have been Charlton game, right?
4 reds here, 3 for him, 3 for... I swear, that's... How many red cards are there? We haven't had that many red cards. What the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah, official stats.
Official? Who's been getting a backhander up there in bloody...
Yeah, so we've had 16. I mean, red cards is that? Oh, it's more than 16.
Yeah, 1, 2,
20.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, like 33 red cards or something in 6 weeks. I don't think so.
Something's corrupted. Okay. Maybe ignore those stats.
Yeah. I think it's when they count. You know how they change the refs around all the time?
Yeah. I
think it's sometimes like the same ref ends up reffing the game at the same time, so it counts all their stats. I don't know. Or it's adding League Cup in there. I haven't got a clue. But didn't we have it last season where we had yellow cards where some couple of players were due a suspension, then they just decided to not bother with that, and then they just carried on playing. I seem to remember Jerry Taggart was like due to be banned, and they were like he didn't even rack up properly.
It was weird. I don't know. We need to try and keep track of that, but yeah.
They're reffing other leagues, says CM Fantasy, maybe, but you wouldn't have expected it to be in the official Premier League stats, which
I think it's the fact that you just reopen it and it calculates all the ones that were scheduled to be that. Yeah, I
think it just puts them down for multiple games.
I mean, we know Tony Van Armorit. He refed 4 games this weekend.
Captain says we've had 6 reds so far in 6 weeks. So yeah, way off.
Ignore that.
Right, let's go to the fixtures quickly. CM Fantasy was just in the chat there. If you guys don't already, then give him a follow. I think that is his name on YouTube anyway, but he's also on Twitter under that same handle. He produces, amongst lots of other guys, but he does a video that breaks it down really nicely and shows you how the game should go. I think that's very handy to take note of.
Yeah, very helpful. Yeah.
There's also my Discord. There's loads of geeks in there posting stats. We've got people posting... over 100 Sims data collated from loads of different people, and so far virtually every week it's been pretty bang on. Like out of the 10 games, maybe 7 of the 10 are pretty much bang on, so definitely useful stuff. But yeah, all I can say about this week actually from a tactical point of view is that from my notes only one... Where was the week before I start talking? Here we are. only one of the teams away from home will play defensive. Only one. Everyone else will play either attacking or normal.
Would that be Leicester then?
That'll be Leicester. Well done. Top marks for you, my friend.
Well,
so it's home to Man United, yeah. Away to Man United, sorry. So they'll play defensive. Doesn't mean that they'll stop any goals going in, of course, because they just don't really attempt. They don't play men behind the ball, but they just play defensive, and they play direct passing. So that's not a particularly good thing. I don't think it may. Like they might get a goal as a result, but it means that they turn over possession a lot. You don't really want to keep turning over possession to Man United, do you? So, long story short, we should get goals this week.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of reputation chances, though, isn't there? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, for Man U to be at home to Leicester in the middle of 2 Champions League games, I think it does scream a little bit of rotation for me. Like, if they didn't have midweek games prior or after, they're less likely to rep 12, I think.
Yeah.
But then with Champions League either side, I think there'll be some rotation at least. If it's not a full rotation, there'll be a couple of names like a Chadwick or a Scholes that comes in. So I wouldn't expect a full team from that.
Yeah, there's some people who think that the Champions League does affect them early on. I know for sure it affects it later on at the semis and stuff when the league's won, like 100%.
Yeah. I still think it affects it.
Yeah, I see a lot
especially
of people say that.
Especially if it's either side. If it's a home game either side of a Champions League midweek, I see more rotation in those weeks than you would normally.
I suppose there's no way I can disprove. I don't know if that's the case, but at the end of the day, if it's a home rep 12 game in between, you're never going to know either way, are you? That's the problem. I suppose the only way to know would be to check like 100 sims of when there's a Champions League game like that and when there's not, and then all those rep 12 games, and even then, you don't know for sure. But ultimately, there's quite a few chances this week for loads of teams, and if they're playing games, 2 or 3 days, there's also condition to worry about when people go down a little bit. They might always start as a result. Man United home to Leicester is very much a chance. Newcastle home to Derby, they've already done it once, but it doesn't change anything. There's a chance there. Chelsea.
I think there's less chance with Newcastle than Man U though, definitely. And I think that's where my captaincy will go. Like I'm thinking, I got Carney in last week for the 1 week punt to try and get some goals against Watford. I've now got the money to go Carney to Shearer, and I'm really tempted because Derby don't go too defensive away. I think there's going to be lots of goals in that game. I think Shearer can have a good week. I'm thinking Shearer captaincy personally.
I like that. Derby will play normal, and they'll also play their formation, which everyone sees. Oh, we still there? Cam disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay, they'll play. I don't think they'll play that one because that was the League Cup, but they could do. I think they'll play this one. But something to note for Derby is when they only play one player wide like this, the wide players usually do pretty well. It's like a common theme with Derby, so that means that if Dyer's fit, then he could do well, but could be Maddison right wing. Laurent Robert, I know Adam's in the chat, he's a big fan of Laurent Robert. He could actually do alright this week, and their fullbacks. I just think the wide players do pretty well. So, Shearer's a great option there, but Tottenham technically could rep, but Millwall will rep 13, which is close to Tottenham, so when they're close it generally doesn't seem to happen. Middlesbrough at home to Blackburn, so even though Middlesbrough rep 12, so are Blackburn, so even they could do it. There's quite a few potentials.
Yeah. I would never captain against Blackburn. I think it's just not many goals in it. Blackburn just really not a good team to attack.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just that we could end up going deep into benches here. I mean, again, it's only a % chance. We could end up with 0. We could end up with 1 team. We could end up with 3 teams. We just don't know. Chelsea are definitely a standout because Man City are 11 and Chelsea are 14, I think. So again, there's a chance there. Wouldn't see any of the away teams doing it, but I think Man U and Newcastle are probably and along with Chelsea are probably the favourites to do it. Okay. Adam saying, no, I'm not going to repeat that. Panda saying what here? Referees sometimes ref more than one fixture in a day. Of course they do, yes they do. Plus cup matches, this is why they can ref so much. Yeah, we've seen that before. Still doesn't make sense though, because if one ref was reffing 2, there'd be refs with 0 in there, right? And 0 games appearing because they didn't ref a single one that week. But yeah, it's just messed up. Game week 12 could have up to 8 blank fixtures, I think, albeit very unlikely. If anyone goes out of the way for cup this week, that reduces. So game week 12 could be our first big set of blanks then, potentially. Interesting.
Okay. keep an eye on it. I'll speak to Panda and Tala and just keep everyone informed in here. Really, that's the best we can do, isn't it?
Mm. As for teams for target this week for attacking points, I mean, I'm obviously Man United if they're going to play their full team. Newcastle, Spurs, definitely any home game with Spurs. I would have thought so. Are the picks there?
I mean, it's a week that I haven't got Stephen Hughes again. I'm worried about that. But you think more from the flanks?
I mean, generally that fixture will, but Stephen Hughes, I mean, a lot of his goals actually have come from not only set pieces, but it says crosses from out wide to Shearer. I think last week they did that. So he is left side, so he might just float over there a bit as well. And they play long ball, don't they? So they just hit it. So I don't doubt that he can do really well in that game as well. Who else? I mean, Chelsea should be good for points as well. Again, if they play their full team, Man City will play on.
I mean, yeah, that if both teams play their full team, I mean, that could be a 4-4-2 that game easily.
Yeah, and yeah, I like Charlton. I think Charlton Villa. I think that'll be an open game.
I'm going to say this week, because of Newcastle getting loads of goals, I think Newcastle will score 4 or 5 this week. Shearer's a good tip, but obviously something a bit different. So I'm going to say Robert does well this week.
Nice, going with the flanks like that.
Mm.
Who am I going to say then? I'll say someone. I mean,
or Maddison. I mean, Maddison. If you own Maddison, you got to start him, as you said. 4.5, and on that right side. Dyer can't make it, can he? We looked at Dyer. He's not fit at all.
He was over 70%, but he was still at orange,
okay.
So you could. But
maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go for Tottenham then. I mean, they're just great at home, and it could be any of their assets: Poirier, Davis, Salakovic, Rebrov, Everson, all of them. So I'll go Salakovic just because he's got penalties. Rebrov is great too, I think.
Yeah, agree with that.
I also like Veron actually. If Veron plays these home games with direct passing, Veron seems to do pretty well. We already saw him haul once, so I wouldn't bank against him. I know people probably won't have him now because they sort of targeted him and they may have wild carded, so he's probably not in the team. But I feel like he could be a good differential this week.
Yeah, it's going to be a good week. Hopefully, loads of goals, loads of incident.
Nice. Right, does anyone want to see anything before we go? Are we done? It's 20 to 11. It's pretty late. Those refs in chat now.
I was thinking of something, but no, we looked at divisions recently, didn't we, and stuff. That's all good. I'll have a look at if I come on next week, I'll have a look at the potential doubles. I'll speak to Panda and Tala this week and see what it's looking like.
Nice. Just going to break down of the fixtures. Well, Good luck. Have a good game week, guys. Hopefully it'll be smoother this time. We could only apologise for last time, but we can't dwell on it. Just have to forget that it happened. I think the main thing was that we wanted to save the game week as much as we can, and we did talk about is there anything we can do, but ultimately if the teams come out and people have seen it, the only thing in interest of fairness is just to completely run it again. It was a complete ball ache, but we really wanted to get something out for you and not miss a week, because suddenly you have, to have that and then not have any action to just write over it and crack on straight away would just be sitting in people's minds for a week. So I think we did the right thing, and it's just an unfortunate mistake. It can happen to absolutely anyone, and I don't doubt it will happen again at some point because it's so easy to do. Like that tweet deck thing is just dumb, and just unfortunately it ended up being the team of the week rather than just a random innocuous tweet like
a goal or something,
or something. Do you know what I mean? But them's the apples. So
I mean, we did have it last season where I think we had a tweet that nearly went out. Like in the tweet deck, it was like an hour difference.
Right.
So it's like we were like a couple of minutes away from putting out the tweet. They said like a 3-1 score, and it's still 0-0 because of like we put the tweet like an hour difference. Right. So stuff can happen easily like that. Like
Yeah, and this is where I own up. When I did the comms, was it 2 weeks ago? I accidentally scheduled Veron's tweet for one of his goals at like 9 o'clock, and I was doing it the day before, and I didn't change the day. And I noticed at about 8:30 that it was for that same day. So in half an hour, people had just had a random notification that Veron scored. So I almost did it as well, and I had to quickly change it.
Oh man! Yeah. And even a tweet like that can just. Would you have to do the whole game week again?
Well, I mean, it's just as soon as that happens, I don't know what we'd have to do because everyone would then just go, "Oh, great, I'll get Veron in and captain him." Do you know what I mean? It's a guaranteed point. It would just ruin it. Yeah, it's just such a tightrope. But anyway, forget it. We move on. This is the sim that happened, and we carry on with this one. Anyway, peace. Catch you later, everyone.
Cheers, guys. See you there.
See ya. Bye bye. Love you.